Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Friendship Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. It is August 17th of 2024, 8:17 in the a.m. Happy Saturday. And let's say it together. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. People, this is a very difficult video for me to do. At my age, I can definitely reflect as a little boy watching the Vietnam War on TV, going to the barbershop, talking to people about the war, and also talking to veterans back in the day. And every now and then I run into one. There are programs around America which attempt to serve veterans. I think we have to give the programs that our country has sought to comfort and heal and be there for them. We have to give them probably a C-. I remember the report back in the day with George Bush Jr. Don't quote me, but I want to say Walter Reed Hospital was some hospital they went into. The story was broken, that it was leaks in the hospital and just questionable living conditions. If you remember that, put it in the comments section. I remember seeing it on air like, wow, the veterans, people who served in different wars, they come home and they're in hospitals, veteran hospitals, which are questionable. Like I said, leaks in the ceiling and the question of the type of care. And I'm sure you see it. I mean, I don't know what the number is, but there's a large, unacceptable number of homeless veterans. So people, to do a story when I hear about Trump degrading veterans and to hear the heart-wrenching stories that I heard when I was a little boy and as a teenager, and the things you and I come across, I'm sure every week, it's just sad. Now, I'm not saying I believe everything that I hear, but people, long before this story hit the fan a few days ago about Donald J. Trump and the history of his comments, I heard about it a long time ago. And if you sit down and think about it, you heard about it too. This is not good, of course, for the Donald. This certainly is not good for the veterans. It's not good for us. And think of the perception of what's going on overseas. I don't know how they take care of the veterans overseas, but we're supposed to be that land of patriotism where we honor people who lace up their boots and pledge allegiance for honor. They go do the work. And some never make it back. And then those who do make it back, some are mentally scarred, come back without limbs. Their family has left them because it was unbearable. And so when you try to put it in perspective, again, I don't believe everything I hear, but it's too much in the history of Donald that fate would not speak to it. And right now, we have a political campaign going on, and his history from people who are perceived by others as legitimate sources are speaking out. If anything, it adds to the climate. It reminds me of JFK, how that, Pearson, how that. Because Oswald was a veteran. Oswald was in some type of military. Yeah, the one who killed Kennedy. Read between the lines here. I've been saying they're going to take Donald out sooner or later. Now this adds another finger pointing that possibly, well, I'm not going to say it, but it's just not good. Would somebody get agitated in relation to a veteran and go after Trump? Possibly, allegedly, whatever. It just adds to it because you ask yourself, why now? Well, sometimes you can wait a little bit. Let's say your opponent says, wait, I'm gonna wait and bring out my best hand at the end and sink his ship. In other words, Donald allegedly gave him ammunition, didn't he? Opening up his mouth about how he felt or the lack thereof. So this is going to be a little bit, I don't know, how can I put it? I don't want to talk as much. I just want you to listen to what's out there. And again, when they take the Donald out, whomever going to do it, it's not going to be him. It's a substitute. But now, again, there will be another layer as to who did it. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is a show, and it's tragic. Wouldn't you agree it's tragic? We're just had our July 4th celebration, and now here it is 5 weeks later. We got possibly a questionable commander-in-chief, that is his devotion.
People who are in our military are suckers and losers. And I know for MAGA guys, they get triggered by that. And they say, oh, no, I don't believe any other human being other than Donald Trump. It's not on tape. Even if it was on tape, I tell you it was out of context or a joke or whatever. But he said it to his chief of staff. And his chief, it's not like he said it to some Adam Schiff, and Adam Schiff told us, right? No, it was his own chief of staff, longest serving chief of staff he had. And while the poor guy was standing over his son's grave, and he's a former general, he's not going to go and look. I would be very surprised if he lied about a story where he's standing over his son's grave and how he, and he fell in battle. Trump is a maniac, and the problem with him is that he has no empathy, like physically. He cannot feel empathy towards other human beings. So that's why he's like, I don't get it. Why would anybody go to war and then die for someone else? Only a sucker would do that, because he doesn't feel that bond with other human beings. So
is that your feeling? Be honest. When you think about the history of Donald, do you call this into question? We got people on the planet like that, for whatever reason, the lack thereof. Climate is terrible. It stinks. I wish this wasn't going on in our country. But politics is an ugly game. That's why a lot of folks don't run for office, because the things of the past allegedly come back to haunt you. Let's read. John Francis Kelly is an American former political advisor and retired U.S. Marine Corps general who served as White House Chief of Staff for President Donald Trump from 2017 to 2019. There he is. In this July 31st, 2017 file photo, President Donald Trump talks with new White House Chief of Staff John Kelly after he was probably sworn in during a ceremony in the Oval Office in Washington. Quote, God help us, former Chief of Staff says Trump insulted wounded veterans, called dead soldiers suckers. Here's an honorable man with credentials. Do you believe him? And if so, will you forgive this man? Because if you don't, it leaves you with one choice, and that's Kamala Harris. What a place to be in a country that just celebrated its birthday, July 4th. What a position for us to be in. What do you think he should do right now? Should he go on an ad campaign and clear this thing up? Because I don't see this smoke dissipating anytime soon. I don't see it. What do you think? I don't see it dissipating. These are people who served. These are people who lost limbs. These are people who never came back. These are families who have the medals on the wall and the life in their hearts, who go to grave sites, who still cry endless tears. What the hell is he going to do? Former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly confirmed for the first time the accuracy of reports that his old boss, former President Donald Trump, repeatedly insulted wounded veterans, dead American soldiers who fought in the World War I and U.S. service members killed in Afghanistan and Iraq. Former White House Chief of Staff John Kelly confirmed for the first time all of this. Quote, "What can I add that has not already been said?" Kelly wrote in a statement to CNN anchor Jake Tapper, a person that did not want to be seen in the presence of military amputees because, quote, "it doesn't look good for me," unquote, a person who demonstrated open contempt for a Gold Star family, for all Gold Star families on TV during the 2016 campaign, and rants that our most precious heroes who gave their lives in Americans' defense are, quote, "losers," and wouldn't visit their graves in France. People, this is difficult for me to even read this. This is crazy. John Kelly confirms Trump privately disparaged U.S. service members and veterans. They called fallen angels. Trump called them fallen angels, suckers and losers during his presidency, according to a 2020 report in The Atlantic. It's all over the press. You heard about it back in the day. Former President, White House Chief of Staff John Kelly is blasting his one-time boss over disparaging remarks he says the then president repeatedly made about service members and veterans, and for what he called Trump's untruthfulness about his positions in various groups, as well as abortion. I'm going to come back. Let's go forward.
Faithful. There was also the incident in 2018 where Trump reportedly said that nearly 2,000 American Marines were suckers and losers because they died. As Trump reportedly put it, "Why should I go to that cemetery? It's filled with losers." Now, the Trump White House denied that story when it came out, and of course they did. It would be obviously terrible to call American service members suckers and losers, and then also to be caught doing so. But the problem with the White House denial, even then, was that Trump had already been talking about American service members like that for literally decades. Here.
Unbelievable, right?
Question is, being captured make you a hero? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because I don't like losers. But Frank, let me get to it. He hit me. He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Trump likes people.
For the record, orange and gold in the background, raw. Did they plan this long time ago? Sun God Ra behind him. Those are the sun God. Look, we got to go there. Those are the sun Ra colors. Was this planned long time ago to bring this atmosphere today? Look at the colors. Is that coincidence? I'm just bringing it up.
Out anti-Semitism while praising Miriam Adelson, who he awarded the Medal of Freedom back in 2018. He then argued the civilian award is better than the one that is given to soldiers.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's
People, that was insensitive. And that was disrespectful. Look, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He could have honored her and at the same time honored those who were wounded. Come on, man. Call it. Look, I don't care how much you like or love Trump. You just heard what you heard. That wasn't smart. And it's come back to haunt him. He got himself to blame. We all make bad decisions. And look, how can you even try to run for office and you know this is in your history? You got to clean that up before you even run. I'm going to be honest. There are some things I forgot about until I researched it. I'm like, oh my God, he did say that. Oh my God, I did hear about that. The rumor mill been going on a long time and y'all know it. Can we forgive him and move on? I think move on is the wrong way to put it. Can we forgive him and still cast a vote for him? Because the other one, his opponent, he's just done too much damage in the economy. Somehow we got to reconcile it, right? Here's a veteran's wife.
Said that he knew what he signed up for, but it hurts anyways.
Dating is like being in Vietnam. You're the equivalent of a soldier going over to Vietnam. And if you have any guilt about not having gone to Vietnam, right, we have our own Vietnam. It's called the dating.
Did you say that more people were killed by women in this act killed in Vietnam?
Yes.
Okay.
That is true.
And you know, you get criticized for that statement, but that statement is very...
I even went as far to say that you're braver than any Vietnam vet because you're out there screwing a lot of women.
Come on. Congressional Medal of Honor in actuality.
He's not a war hero. He's a war hero. 5.5 years. He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured.
He couldn't remember my husband's name. The only way he remembered my husband's name because he told me he had my husband report in front of him. And that's when he actually said, La David.
You know, he's a war hero because he was captured. A war hero.
July 18th, 2015. 9 years ago, people. You ready to throw up yet? Because I am. I tell you, it's hard for me to do this video. What the hell was he thinking? What was he thinking? Somebody explain to me what do you think he was thinking? The basis of America. To serve and protect. And this was what comes out of your mouth? And you didn't think your opponent would go into the morgue, so to speak? Will bones speak? That your opponent wouldn't give oxygen to those brave men and women? Those who didn't even have a millisecond to think when that grenade went off? Then they went to meet their maker? Instantaneously, a lot of them have died. They had a millisecond to think about it. Boom, and you're done. It's not a fist fight. I don't get it. Here's John McCain. Y'all know his past. God rest his soul. Whether you like his politics or not, it's not important right about now. He served. And when Trump said what he said about him, it was wrong. And I think anybody would know it's wrong. Trump got some cleaning up to do.
Prison experience in serving their country. I'm in the arena, as TR used to say, but in the case of many of our veterans, when Mr. Trump said that he prefers to be with people who are not captured, well, the great honor of my life was to serve in the company of heroes. I'm not a hero, but those who were my senior ranking officers, people like Colonel Bud Day, Congressional Medal of Honor winner, and those that inspired us to do things that we otherwise wouldn't have been capable of doing. Those are the people that I think he owes an apology to.
And Senator, we are joined by viewers of Today as well, and Joe Scarborough has a question for you. Joe.
You bring up a man who was a hero of mine, Colonel Bud Day, an early supporter from Fort Walton Beach. We talked about what a great man he was, but I remember Bud participating in a 2004 SWIFT vet.
Let's move forward. Here are veterans, and a lot of these videos, people, I should have said that. This video is from 9 hours ago. This video is 9 hours ago, although it was from 2015. This video is August 16th. A lot of stuff is like I said, in history. You know, it's just history. John McCain, you know, he's been dead 9 years ago. And this was from 3 years ago, when Trump put his foot in his mouth back in the day about veterans. And a lot of veterans voted for Biden as a result of that. So it's coming back again, right? At least the news part is.
Mr. Trump has abandoned our veterans with the insulting of heroes like John McCain, with the insulting of Gold Star families.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
When I see President Trump and the words he had to say about John McCain's service, it's something I'll never forget and can't let go. And the same thing he's saying about General Mattis now. These are some of the greatest leaders of our time, and the way he's denigrating their service is just despicable.
I voted Republican because pretty much through my career, the Republicans took better care, in my opinion, of the military, and that was important to me. But today, he scares the fuck out of me, man.
His ban on transgenders in the military is just one of the most cruel policies. For no reason, he decided that people that rose their right hand, decided to defend the Constitution, the flag that's supposed to represent equality, that they're not worthy of being in the military and serving.
So yeah, veterans of whatever sex, if you serve, you serve, people. At that point, if you lose an arm and you can't shoot and you can't walk, doesn't matter what sex you are, you want your comrade, you want your devotion from the fellow soldier. Irregardless of their sexual persuasion, you want them to grab you and bring you back to the base. Just keeping it real, baby. Just keeping it real.
That was a moving moment during a welcome ceremony for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Mark Milley, back in 2019. But it turns out that it may have been the initial moment that Chairman Milley gained insight into the former President Donald Trump's view of members of the military. Now, according to a stunning new profile in The Atlantic, following wounded Army Captain Luis Avila's rendition of God Bless America, Trump walked over to congratulate and embrace him. But moments after that, the former president told Chairman Milley, quote, "Why do you bring people like that here? No one wants to see that, the wounded. Never let Avila appear in public again," Trump told Milley. Joining me now is the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg. He is the author of that profile, The Patriot, How General Mark Milley Protected the Constitution from Donald Trump.
People, again, I don't believe everything I hear, everything I read. The clips are the clips, they don't lie. And again, as I researched this, it jogged my memory and it hurt to the core. I'm just speechless at this point. Why wouldn't your opponent bring it up? This is ammunition you gave him. The question is, those who have been diehard Trump supporters, middle of the road Trump supporters, and those on the fence, what are you going to do? Because this smoke is not going to clear. It's not going to clear. Look, the media might not bring it up no more. There are a lot of veterans out here, people. And you know, I learned in business that you can spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertisement, but any person would tell you, word of mouth in relation to the quality of service of the that you rendered, that goes a long way. So people are going to be talking at the bars, community centers, rallies. People are going to be talking about this. Because you know, when the media gets a hold of this, ain't no letting go. Can he recover from this? Will you allow him to recover? Will you forgive him? Because let's face it, there are things that he did say. Is he that insensitive that you would say, you know what, forget it, I'm going to vote for Biden? It's your choice. It's my job to bring it out there. God help America. Jesus help America. And hopefully we can continue to go forward as a nation. What an ugly time. I'm Franchai Pearson. If you like the work, thumbs up, share. I'll pray for you, you pray for me. And remember, Jesus died. He gave his life. No question about it. That you might have life. He's the biggest war hero. Let him be your hero. Accept his cleansing blood and his forgiveness of your sins, because it is by grace we are saved and not of ourselves. Amen.